At this exact moment, Earth is screaming into the universe, and almost nobody will ever hear us. For nearly a century, we have assumed that our radio broadcasts, radar pulses, and desperate signals to the stars were expanding outward in a great cosmic footprint, proving that we exist. We took comfort in the idea that our history was traveling forever at the absolute speed limit of reality. But that comfort is an illusion. The laws of physics may have constructed an invisible communication barrier around our world. Everything we have ever sent into the great dark is already fading beyond recognition. Long before our presence could become detectable to an alien civilization, it will likely dissolve into the background noise of the cosmos. What if the ultimate cosmic horror is not that the universe is empty, but that distance itself makes meaningful communication almost impossible? An expanding bubble. To understand the absolute isolation of our planet, we first have to look at what we have thrown into the cosmic ocean. Since the invention of radio, humanity has been inadvertently transmitting an electromagnetic sphere of noise. The first television broadcasts of the 1930s, the early wartime radar testing, the crackling rock and roll of the 1950s, and the global broadcast of the moon landing have all left the atmosphere and ventured outward. In 1974, humanity beamed the Arecibo message toward a cluster of stars 25,000 light-years away. It was a concentrated pulse of radio waves, a digital message in a bottle thrown with all our might. But even that message faces a brutal reality. As it expands across interstellar space, its power spreads thinner and thinner until eventually it becomes almost indistinguishable from the natural radio noise of the galaxy. 3 years later, we launched Voyager 1, a physical probe carrying a golden record etched with the sounds of Earth. And every single day, the Deep Space Network pulses commands across billions of miles of empty space to keep in touch with our robotic explorers. Our radio signals have traveled for roughly 100 years. They have washed over thousands of star systems. If anyone is out there listening in the dark, they must know we are here. But how far has our voice actually traveled? Have we truly made a mark, or are we just screaming into a void that is too vast to conquer? This is where human intuition utterly fails us. We simply do not comprehend the paralyzing, suffocating scale of the galaxy we live in, the illusion of light speed. Light travels at 1,86,282 miles per second. It takes just a second to reach the moon and 8 minutes to reach the sun. It feels blindingly fast, but across the entirety of the Milky Way, light speed is agonizingly slow. The Milky Way galaxy is a sprawling, monstrous disk measuring roughly 100,000 light-years from edge to edge. It holds up to 400 billion stars. If the Milky Way were the size of Earth's oceans, our century-old sphere of radio transmissions would not even amount to a single drop of water. The signals from our first television broadcasts have barely crossed the street in our cosmic neighborhood. The Arecibo message, fired with such hope in 1974, has traveled a mere 50 light-years. Even if there is a thriving, advanced alien empire located on the exact opposite side of the Milky Way, it would take our fastest signals another 1 light-years just to reach their border. But the slowness of light is not the tragedy here. Time is something the universe has in abundance. If distance and time were the only obstacles, then eventually, perhaps millions of years from now, our signals would finally cross the galactic abyss. Someone would eventually find our footprint. So, if time is not the enemy, what is waiting in the dark to erase us? The true horror of our cosmic isolation lies in a ruthless, invisible predator built into the very fabric of reality, the invisible executioner. There is a fundamental rule of physics known as the inverse square law. Turn on a flashlight in a dark forest, and the beam is bright at the bulb. But as the light travels, the exact same amount of energy is forced to cover a rapidly expanding area, weakening to a faint glow. Radio waves and electromagnetic signals follow the exact same law. Every time the distance of a signal doubles, its strength does not just cut in half. It drops to a quarter of its original power. The television signals and radio broadcasts that we have leaked into space are not traveling like a laser beam. With every light year they travel, the energy of human history is stretched thinner and thinner across the cosmic void. By the time our everyday radio and television broadcasts travel just a few light years away from Earth, they are incredibly weak. By the time they reach 100 light years away, which is the current edge of our transmission bubble, they have been stretched so thin that they possess almost zero energy. But it gets worse. Space is not an empty vacuum. It is deafeningly loud. The universe is filled with natural radiation. Stars scream in radio frequencies. Gas clouds emit massive amounts of electromagnetic interference. And underneath it all lies the cosmic microwave background. This background radiation is the absolute static of the cosmos. It forms part of the persistent radio noise floor of the universe. For a signal to be detected, it must be stronger than the noise around it. But because of the inverse square law, our radio signals are continuously losing strength. Eventually, and inevitably, they drop below the threshold of the cosmic microwave background. They do not just become quiet. They become mathematically indistinguishable from the background static. When a signal drops below this noise floor, it is gone. It cannot be recovered. No matter how advanced an alien civilization might be, no matter how massive their antennas or how flawless their technology, they cannot hear a sound that has dissolved into the fundamental thermal noise of reality. Even our directed, highly concentrated messages face this executioner. The Arecibo message will survive longer than our random television leaks. But it, too, is expanding. It, too, is losing its fight against the inverse square law. Long before it reaches its target in the M13 star cluster, it will have broadened so dramatically and weakened so severely that it will melt into the cosmic static. The realization is a chilling one. We are not shouting into an empty void. We are whispering in the middle of a raging cosmic storm, the cosmic quarantine. This brings us to a terrifying answer to the Fermi paradox. For decades, we have looked at the stars and asked one fundamental question: where is everybody? If the galaxy is old and life is mathematically probable, the sky should be buzzing with the radio chatter of alien empires. The silence of the night sky has deeply unsettled astronomers and philosophers alike. But what if the sky is not silent because it is empty? What if the universe is actually teeming with life, crowded with advanced civilizations, brilliant minds, and sprawling cosmic cultures? What if the laws of physics have simply built soundproof walls between us all? Every civilization in the universe may be trapped inside their own signal bubble. They're confined to a microscopic zone of communication where their presence is detectable, surrounded by an infinite ocean of overwhelming cosmic noise. They're shouting into the dark, just like us. And just like us, their voices are instantly shredded by the vast distances and the background hiss of the cosmos. We are not just lonely. We are physically quarantined by the mechanics of the universe. We realize now that human radio broadcasts may never remain detectable beyond even a tiny fraction of the Milky Way. In fact, they will never even escape our localized neighborhood of stars. Humanity is, for all practical purposes, already completely invisible to the rest of the galaxy. If our civilization were to collapse tomorrow, the electromagnetic evidence of our existence would vanish into the background static within a blink of cosmic time. There will be no lingering echo. There will be no ghosts in the radio waves. A silent tombstone. But what of Voyager? What happens to our physical messenger carrying the golden record as it drifts outward into the dark? Space is so incomprehensibly vast that it will take Voyager tens of thousands of years just to pass near another star. And long before it does, it will have lost all power. It will be a dead, frozen hunk of metal. It will not broadcast, and it will not shine. It will be incredibly small, completely silent, and visually camouflaged against the darkness of deep space. The mathematical odds of another civilization accidentally bumping into a silent, car-sized piece of metal in the infinite expanse of the interstellar medium are functionally zero. Voyager is not an ambassador. It is a tombstone, thrown into an endless ocean, never to be found. This is the profound tragedy of our cosmic condition. We are a species desperate to be known, born into a universe that aggressively erases our presence. We look up at the stars and feel an existential dread, wondering if we are alone. But is there a thought even more terrifying than being completely alone? Perhaps the ultimate horror is that we are not alone at all. We are simply trapped inside a physical reality where distance is too great, light is too slow, and the dark is simply too loud. We are sharing a galaxy with countless others, all of us screaming into the void, and all of us separated by distances so vast that meaningful communication may become almost impossible. We are here, we are alive, but outside our tiny fading bubble.